Hi guys, thanks for watching our weather update on June 27th, 2023. So today we're starting off with our latest satellite imagery from wind.com. I can see a classic area of low pressure over Iceland, or just the south of Iceland, the swirl here of clouds, and from the swirl we see the occluded fronts stretching across the west of Iceland and down into the Norwegian Sea, that sort of area, down towards the Faroe Islands and down close to Scotland. Around this sort of area here, west of Shetland, the front splits into a warm front out in the North Sea and a cold front out in the Atlantic. And in between the warm and cold fronts, we have a warm sector, which is the area we're in now, the area of warm and humid air between the warm front and the cold fronts. And it's been a cloudy day, quite drizzly in some areas, and warm and humid, courtesy of this warm sector. And the radar shows that warm front in the North Sea, that occluded front in the west of Iceland, and the cold front is in the Atlantic, so it can't be so it can't be picked up by the radar. This is the UKV from the weather.com. So today we can see that warm sector bringing a lot of clouds and drizzle. This evening, a weak band of rain does cross the country. That is part of the cold front that has sort of died off. But as we go towards morning, we see a more intense part of the cold front pushing to the west, and that will slowly push eastwards tomorrow morning. And you can see along it, we have what's called a score line. If I zoom in, you can see this very narrow band of intense rain. So that could create problems with strong winds, torrential rain. So on the roads, that could create surface flooding issues. Very strong winds could even knock down a tree if they're strong enough. And of course, at this stage of the year, trees are in full leaf, so it's easier for that to occur, and that sort of thing. And that sort of clears eastwards by lunchtime, and we're left with sunshine and showers in from the west, and cooler air. I'm going to Thursday, quite chilly and dry to start off with sunshine, but towards late morning, a few showers are sparked off in the east. But by the end of the day, they mainly die off, as we see the next front approach from the Atlantic with thickening clouds. Going off into Friday, we see some heavier rain approach the west coast with cloudy skies nationwide, and we see the rain push across the country, turning heavy at times. Friday night sees cloudy weather with showers, and Saturday things brighten up. Saturday looks quite nice with decent sunshine. Before on Sunday, we see more signs of rain pushing to the west and northwest. Temperatures then look like this, so we can put these on. So today, temperatures getting towards the low 20s towards the southeast, high teens further northwest. Tonight, temperatures drop towards the high teens in the southeast, mid-teens towards low teens towards the north and west, because of the clearance of the cold front. Tomorrow morning, we start off quite warm in the southeast, but immediately behind the cold front, it's actually quite chilly, with temperatures towards the low teens, even in the late morning. So that's quite shocking. So that is really quite an active cold front there. A big difference in temperature following the cold front. But tomorrow afternoon, with sunshine, temperatures rise towards the high teens, possibly scraping 20 degrees in parts of the south and east. On Wednesday night, things go quite cold in the east, down towards the single figures. Further west, around 10 or 11 or 12 degrees. Thursday itself sees temperatures rising towards the high teens again, possibly getting towards 20 degrees in the sunnier areas. Thursday night then goes quite colder again in the east, especially, but a bit more for the west. While into Friday itself, Friday will be a cooler day with all that rain and wind. So highs of 18 degrees in the southeast. Elsewhere, widely around 16 to 17 degrees, and elsewhere in the west and north, 15 degrees or 16 degrees. And into Friday night, things get a little bit chilly, especially for the Midlands. And getting towards Saturday, temperatures rise to the low 20s in the southeast, because we'll have sheltered from the westerly winds there, as well as a lot of sunshine. And into Saturday nights, we see things going quite cold in the southeast and the northeast, with the temperatures dropping towards the single figures. But elsewhere in the Midlands, especially the North Midlands and the West and Northwest, temperatures hold up above 10 degrees. And into Sunday itself, same temperatures, really high teens. And actually in the Northwest, in parts of the Connaughts especially, down towards the lower mid-teens. Finally then, the GFS run looks like this. So today we can see that we're in a warmer westerly winds. The upper air temperatures are warm. Tonight we push a cold front through, lowering the temperatures down, so you can see that by Thursday at midnight, we've got the 5 we actually don't even have the 5 Celsius ice term through the country at a 50 HPA, so that's quite cold, quite chilly. Then pushing in towards Friday, we see that next front pushing off the Atlantic, marked by these kinks in the isobars, and going through towards Saturday, we see the winds in from the northwest. So sunshine and a few showers, but quite mild at the same time. And going to Sunday, winds back from westerly due to the onset of another front from the Atlantic. And into Monday, July 3rd, first week of July, we see low pressure from the northwest, dig southeastwards, so probably quite cool and showery up until like Wednesday, July 5th. And we go a bit warmer into the second part of the first week of July, with winds more southwesterly, but still with copious amounts of low pressure, and attempts at high pressure there during the second weekend of July, but that fails, and low pressure just flattens everything off, and we stay that way until mid-July, it seems, with further low pressure. But this one here on July 13th pulls up a southerly wind, so that could be warm, yes, but thundery. ECMWF, I mean thundery, like June always was. And yeah, you know what I mean. So the ECMWF shows we see that warm Texas today. Tonight we see a cold front move through. The kink in the isobars tomorrow shows that. And tomorrow into Thursday, we see cooler and showery weather. And into the weekend, Friday the weekend, we see yet another area of low pressure and its embedded fronts across the country, bringing milder and wetter weather. And into Saturday, July 1st, we see winds from the northwest, and they're back westerly on Sunday and Monday due to the onset of yet another front, and that low pressure just sinks southwards to be centred just to our northwest, and that will bring rain showers, some heavy with possibly a few thunderstorms. If the winds are more southwesterly, like they are there, they'll just drag in a bit of warmer air from the Atlantic. And I must also say that the sea surface temperature anomalies are very high, a good 4 degrees above average. So there's extra energy from the sea to generate these big showers. So you may see some more thunderstorms if this comes off in early July. And that stays with us there until like Friday, July 7th, when there's a slight increase in pressure from the Azores. The UK Met Office run is like this. So you can see that warms Texas today, followed by the cold front tonight, and then tomorrow into Thursday, that cooler air mass brings sunshine, but a few showers and a fair amount of clouds. Now into Friday, we see that next front moving off the Atlantic, and we go briefly milder into Friday night, but a cold front comes through during the early hours of Saturday, and winds go more northwesterly before backing westerly on Sunday. Next area of rain and wind sweeps through for Monday, and we're left into that cooler and showery air mass. Again, on this run, the winds are more trying to be more southwesterly, so there could be more. So there actually could be thunderstorms with that one. The GEM run, Canadian run. So you can see it's this warm sector that's pushing through, followed by the cold front, followed by the cooler air mass, followed by the next front on Friday, followed by a cold front there on Saturday, followed by cooler and showery weather there for Saturday afternoon. So you can see how it's all really repeating. This is classic zonal westerly weather. Classic. Couldn't have been any more classic. This is just totally typical. Now the GEM has more of a northerly influence. So on Monday, July 3rd, we're pushing through. We're almost getting the temperature down to 0 degrees at a 50 HPA, down to 1 degree, I think, in the north of the country there on Monday, July 3rd. And winds go a bit northerly there for a time on July 4th. So you get the one Celsius storm across the whole country. You can see all about 2 degrees, should I say. But still, really quite chilly upper temperatures, really chilly. We push through, and it stays cooler and showery. But we get an area of low pressure spinning up there to our west, drawing up a southerly wind on Friday, July 7th. And it goes quite warm, but possibly thundery. The icon run looks like this. So you can see today and tomorrow we can see that cold front move through, followed by cooler and showery weather, followed by yet more rain wind on June 30th, clearing on July 1st to bring sunshine and showers, but actually the UK Metro is quite dry weather for this day, but the pressure is quite low for dry weather, if you see what I mean. It's all Atlantic-based westerly winds. So you thought that there'd be some rain and showers around. Into Sunday, into Monday, more low pressure around, rain showers, thunderstorms. Finally, the arpège run looks like this. We can see that cold front tomorrow, followed by like cooler air mass, followed by more rain, followed by a cooler air mass, followed by more rain. So rinse, and repeat. So basically, to sum it up, for the next week or so, it's a rinse and repeat situation of warm fronts, warm sector, cold fronts, cooler and showery, but with some decent sunshine, then warm front again. So that's basically it for the next week or so, before in the early part of July, low pressure sinks more over us, and we get more convection-based rain instead of frontal rain. So that's what I have to say. Thanks for watching, and bye for now.